Green infrastructure has been around since the mid-1990s. One local nonprofit is expanding the scope of its work in green infrastructure and repurposing land in Detroit to positively impact the community. Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Laurel Hess and this is Comcast Newsmakers. Joining me now is the president of the Greening of Detroit, Rebecca Salminen Witt. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So the Greening of Detroit, it sounds like, does exactly what its name implies. You are planting things green and trying to make some of the brown of Detroit green, and possibly a few flowers scattered in there as well.
That's right. We're really fortunate. We were blessed with a great name 24 years ago, and it really does describe exactly what we do. So we're out across the city every weekend during the spring and fall, planting trees throughout the course of the rest of the year, building gardens, reclaiming vacant space, putting folks to work to do that job. It's really a comprehensive, holistic way to make the city better.
Has it become a bigger and bigger job as certainly Detroit has seen more and more vacant space rear its head?
You know, the vacant space is certainly our biggest challenge and our biggest asset. And, through the years, we've been doing this a long time. We've seen a lot more of those challenges and assets become available to us. A primary part of what we're trying to do these days is put that vacant space into productive use. And a lot of our programming is really around that productive use of vacant space.
In what way? We hear a lot about urban farming. Is that the only way that we can make vacant space productive? Or?
Well, growing food is certainly a great way to make vacant space productive, but it's not a silver bullet. There are lots of parts of our menu of things that you can do on vacant space. We grow trees on vacant space. We make pocket parks. Sometimes just cleaning and greening it, mowing it, keeping it up, making it a useful and non-dangerous space for the community is a really good part-time productive use. We've got a dendro remediation project, which is a fancy name for cleaning up soil contamination using plants. And that's been something that we've really been able to put into practice to make some of our vacant space that's not so useful right now become useful in the future.
Is this your vacant lot initiative? I know you have names for a lot of different important projects.
Right, we do. You've got to have names for everything, right? And the vacant lot initiative is essentially the idea of working with communities throughout the city of Detroit to determine what's the very best use of the vacant space in their neighborhood. Everybody's got a different idea about what their neighborhood could or should be, and we like to work specifically with those folks to create those unique ideas that are going to give neighborhoods their own flavor, be most productive, but also most appropriate for what those neighbors really want. We've been making a lot of use of the Detroit Future City Strategic Framework. A lot of folks have heard about Detroit Future City or the Detroit Works project. That's been a real tool for us and other folks in the community development area, because we've been able to take this kind of Bible of what Detroit could look like in the future to the neighborhoods and say, hey folks, where do you see yourselves in here? And then as a resource agency, we can actually help people make that happen, which is really fun and exciting.
And I would imagine, like most nonprofits, you rely on volunteers, but maybe a little easier to get, because if people in their own neighborhood are volunteering, they see those results in their own neighborhood and they're willing to help out.
One of the things that we do is use volunteers, and it's a great accessible way to get people involved.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having us.
For more information on today's topic, you can head to greeningofdetroit.com. Today's Comcast Newsmaker was Rebecca Salminen Witt, the president of the Greening of Detroit.